Ahead of the 2023-2024 NBA season, tensions between a disgruntled James Harden and the Sixers have taken a turn for the worse. The saga has so far dragged on to the point that their relationship has become irreparable. In any case, join me as I walk you through the feud between the 2018 MVP and the Philadelphia 76ers. At the center of James Harden and the Philadelphia 76ers controversy is one thing that has become familiar with the 10-time All-Star: a trade request. In a career in the NBA spanning 14 years, he has requested a trade 3 times, more than any other NBA player in the 21st century. Harden first made such a request in the 2020 offseason with 2 years left on his deal with the Houston Rockets, specifying the Brooklyn Nets as his preferred destination. And while it wasn't an easy request at the time, the infamous fat suits sufficed and he eventually got his wish to team up with Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. However, while he got what he wanted, just 13 months after his trade request from the Rockets, Harden wanted out of the Nets and was seeking another trade. Interestingly, the Philadelphia 76ers were also trying to get disgruntled and exiled guard Ben Simmons out of the roster, and as such, the Sixers were an ideal destination for James Harden to get out of the Nets. Besides, moving to Philly meant James Harden gets to reunite with Daryl Morey, who made his career in the NBA by recognizing Harden's brilliance early and then empowering him throughout an 8-year run in Houston. After all, Morey signed the point guard to 3 contract extensions, one of which was the richest contract in NBA history at the time. Whatever the case, his move to the Sixers was supposed to be his dream move. At least it was, until it wasn't. Before the feud. In the middle of the 2021-2022 NBA season, the 3-time scoring champ got his wish and was traded to the Philadelphia 76ers in return for Ben Simmons, Seth Curry, Andre Drummond, and 2 first-round draft picks. And early into his career in Philly, everything went well for Harden and the Sixers, with the point guard even admitting that the team was definitely the best chance he has had to win a championship. In his first season with the Sixers, he had started all 21 games, averaging 21 points on 40.2% shooting, 10.5 assists, and 7.1 rebounds per game. With his role in the team, it was obvious that he was sacrificing his offensive game, but he admitted that is just doing whatever's necessary to win. Besides, with his move to the Sixers, he not only had Morey, but also an MVP-caliber center in Joel Embiid and a championship coach in Doc Rivers to guide him to winning his first NBA ring. To show his commitment to seeing things work out with the Sixers, James Harden took approximately $14 million less than what he was due in a player option to allow the Sixers the flexibility to sign free agents PJ Tucker and Daniel House Jr. But was James Harden's sacrifice enough? Harden versus Doc Rivers. As if leaving $14 million on the floor to help boost the roster wasn't enough, James Harden was doing things he had never done before, like setting up teammates for easy baskets, grabbing crucial rebounds, and scoring buckets in bunches. Heading into the 2023 All-Star break, the point guard was playing fantastic basketball as he averaged 21.4 points, 11 rebounds, and 6.4 assists per game. However, it surprised him when his effort to relive his Rocket days wasn't rewarded in the manner he had hoped. Thinking he was heading to his 11th consecutive All-Star game, he was snubbed from the All-Star team, and to make matters worse, the 34-year-old finished 4th in the Eastern Conference voting behind Kyrie Irving, Donovan Mitchell, and Jaylen Brown. It was reported that James Harden was so enraged by the rejection that he took days to reply when NBA Commissioner Adam Silver invited him to fill in for an injured player. By the time Harden responded to the request to accept it, Adam Silver had already made a change, selecting Toronto Raptors forward Pascal Siakam to take the place of an injured Durant. Interestingly, Harden wasn't the only one pissed about his snub, but also his teammates and coach Doc Rivers. This never should have happened, Doc said about Harden's All-Star snub. In any case, while Doc coming out to defend Harden in public felt like they had a good relationship, revelations later on showed that they were actually at odds and that Harden's behavior might not have sat well with several players on the team. After a double overtime loss against the Houston Rockets in mid-December 2022, Rivers was reported to have privately criticized James Harden in a film session for taking the final 3 shots in a game where he went 4 for 19. Shockingly, the biggest of his disputes with Doc Rivers was in February 2022, when Doc and several other players on the roster weren't happy with Harden traveling separately to Miami to enjoy the nightlife. It was reported that Doc Rivers brought it up in a team meeting, and it was an awkward situation for everyone present. In any case, Doc Rivers was eventually fired after the Sixers lost in the second round of the playoffs yet again. Officially, it was because Doc had fallen out of a championship, but unofficially, a source claimed it was because the team knew Harden did not want to play for him again. So, with the Sixers doing everything to make Harden happy to stay, why then is his relationship with the front office irredeemable? Front office drama, failed promises, and betrayal. Leaving $14 million on the table and taking a backseat in offense did feel like James Harden was sacrificing a lot to be with the Sixers team. Recent reports, however, have revealed that this wasn't the case. In his 14-year career, this wouldn't be the first time he would leave money on the table. But, surprisingly, it was the first time the narrative that he was taking less money to help rebuild a team pushed. Back in February 2021, James Harden turned down a 2-year, $100 million extension from the Rockets. In August 2021, he left a $161 million extension on the table from Brooklyn, and now he was eligible for a 4-year, $210 million contract if he declined his $35.6 million player option and become a free agent. Surprisingly, having failed to make the All-Star team, and also since no strong suitors wanted him, Harden had no leverage to demand the contract he was eligible for. So with Harden in a difficult position, he made calls to Morey, but the Sixers general manager wasn't taking calls from Harden's camp, leaving James Harden even more frustrated. And so out of frustration, Harden and his agents Mike Silverman and Troy Payne made the decision to exercise his $35.6 million player option prior to the deadline of June 30th and to request a trade. After all, it was better to take the guaranteed money for the 2023-24 season than be forced to accept whatever offer Morey and the Sixers present to him once the free agency opens. Unfortunately, the Sixers were surprised by Harden's decision to pick his player option and his trade request for another team less than 2 years after his arrival. Harden was already too far gone in his decision to leave as he felt he had been wrong. More so by Daryl Morey, and soon he did the unexpected. Daryl Morey is a liar. Trading Ben Simmons, Seth Curry, Andre Drummond, and 2 first-round picks for James Harden meant the Sixers were not trading the 3-time scoring champ easily. Morey confirmed that Harden had informed him of his preferred team, and the general manager promised to make a genuine attempt to move Harden to the Los Angeles Clippers. The Clippers and other teams in the league that wanted Harden, however, made it obvious by the middle of August that they had no intention of providing Morey with the kind of return he was seeking, which was preferably a player or assets to keep the Sixers as a championship contending team. And as such, the Philadelphia 76ers decided to end talks with the Clippers and expected Harden to report to training camp. So, pissed off by Daryl Morey and the Sixers' decision, Harden publicly called out Daryl Morey at a promotional event for his line of Adidas basketball shoes in China. "Daryl Morey is a liar, and I will never play for an organization he is a part of again," James Harden said repeatedly. The aftermath of the comment. Following his comment, James Harden was fined $100,000 by the league. And when asked if his relationship with the Sixers is beyond repair, the former MVP said, "I think so." Harden explained that he had been patient all summer and presently he is just focusing on what he can control. In any case, with training camps about to resume, no resolution has been reached between James Harden and the Philadelphia 76ers. However, one thing is certain so far. With or without Harden this season, the Sixers look like a title contender. Besides, given the lack of leverage the 34-year-old disgruntled star has, things could turn ugly for both parties, as Morey has long shown little interest in fielding a struggling team, and Harden has also shown his willingness to hold out or resort to his fat suit antics if he does not get the trade he wants. Whatever the case, it is best they all resolve it before the new season starts. What are your thoughts about the James Harden and Sixers feud? Who do you think would bend first, the Philadelphia 76ers or Harden? Let me know in the comment section.